Once the performance came to an end, the audience filed out of the tent. Thomas walked a few feet ahead of his family, looking around for what else the carnival had to offer. He spotted a hall of mirrors and ran toward it. Edward told his daughters to go with him and to keep him close by. They did as they were told and entered the building with their brother. Thomas walked up to the first mirror and looked at his reflection. He giggled at the distorted image, and his sisters followed suit. Marie looked into one that made her wider, and Anna one that made her taller. Thomas continued to walk ahead and reached a section of the attraction that was completely deserted of other visitors. The mirrors formed a circle, and it was hard to tell which one was an opening to another hallway. He looked up at the reflection, giggling at his body made wavy. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed movement. Turning to the mirror on his left, he was startled to see a clown reflected in the corner of the mirror. The clown was dressed in a black and white striped costume. His painted face looked like it was done in a hurry, with streaks of white grease paint and missing patches here and there. The red lips were smeared on and were unsmiling and threatening. The eyes were almost black and held no light. Thomas gasped and turned but saw no one behind him. The clown was still reflected in the mirrors, but he couldn't tell where he was. The boy jumped when he felt someone grab his sides. "What's the matter?" Anna asked as she came up behind him and playfully grasped her younger sibling. "Your reflection scare you?" No, he said, finding it hard to speak. "Tommy, what's wrong?" Marie came up to them and noticed how pale her brother's face was. "Nothing," he murmured, "just dizzy." "Looks like the mirrors aren't agreeing with you. Let's go." Marie took his hand and led the three of them through the remainder of the mirror maze. Once outside, the children rejoined their father and Alicia. "Ready to go?" Edward asked. The children nodded and began to walk back to the carnival's entrance. Looking back at the hall of mirrors, Thomas spotted a figure standing near the exit. It was the clown. His pointy hat sat at a crooked angle and his floppy collar looked disheveled. His shoes were dirty with fresh mud. His smile was menacing and seemed to hide something sinister. He waved his hand at Thomas. The boy was struck with fear at the sight and refused to move. Alicia noticed this and gently tugged at his hand. "What's the matter, Tommy?" she asked. He looked at her for a moment and then pointed his finger in the direction of the hall of mirrors. "There was a clown over there," he answered. Alicia looked toward the spot where he pointed, but she didn't see a clown. "It was probably just one of the carnival workers, sweetie," she tried to reassure the boy. Although, come to think of it, she didn't remember seeing any clowns at the carnival earlier. Tugging at his hand again, she was able to get him to move.